Hello, smart viewers. Welcome to Face with me, William. And as usual, on every episode, I'm going to discuss about variously diverse topics. And for this episode, I'm going to share more about the profession, the world of translating. Yeah. So, but first, before I invite my special guest for today's episode, who works around translating, I'm gonna give out some of the steps to become a professional translator. So the first step is to get certified. So the first thing people should know about how to become a translator is to get some sort of accreditation or certification. Having credentials provides documentation that you have the skills required to translate or interpret professionally. And the next step is to get tested. So another resume builder is to take language proficiency tests such as the Defense Language Proficiency Test, DLPT, or other language proficiency test to show potential clients that you are indeed fluent in your specific language. The next step is to gain experience. So all of us have had to start out doing internships or working entry-level jobs in order to climb the ladder. And the language industry is no exception. If you're enrolled at or live near a college, take classes in translation or interpreting and look for opportunities to perform translation or interpreting work on campus for various departments. The next step is to market yourself. So after getting credentials and some experience, it's time to market yourself to law firms, police stations, hospitals, government agencies, and language agencies. They may, that may need translators or interpreters in your area. So most translators or interpreters work for clients on a contract basis, not as full-time employees. And the last step is to keep learning. As you progress as a translator or interpreter, there are other areas to consider as well. What specialized industry or industries can you translate or interpret for? Do you keep up with industry terms and trends? Are you computer savvy or knowledgeable regarding translation memory software? Can you provide simultaneous as well as consecutive interpreting? If you have had success as a translator, maybe you could consider diversifying and becoming a certified court or medical interpreter. So those are kind of this 5 steps of becoming a professional translator. So for the next segment, I'm going to invite my special guest today, who is Indonesian-Korean translator, and to get into the translation field, getting to know about the world of translating, how you interpret, one to another, the language, and also to improve professional skills through translating one language to another from a person perspective. You're gonna have to stay tuned to Face. Hello! Welcome back to Face with me, William. And as I promised on the previous segment, I'm going to invite my special guest for today's episode, who currently works as a translator in Indonesian-Korean. So please welcome Yuri. Hello.
Hello.
Maybe you could share your recent activities related to translating Indonesian-Korean.
So I'm currently really active in Korean events in Indonesia, because this year there are so many Korean events, Korean artists coming to Indonesia. So I'm active as an interpreter right now with them.
Oh, so you're mostly working for translating Korean artists?
Yeah,
or?
Korean artists or Korean events that happens to be in Jakarta.
Oh, yeah. And also, curious about how you got interested or kind of like, interested in professional working field as a translator.
At first, I didn't start as in a professional way. I started because my mom's friend was actually having this entertainment company, which she holds various Korean events, and she came to notice that I could speak fluently in Bahasa, so she asked me to help her. And then when I began to help her and more, my CV got like full with those events. And because I began to have more links from those events, so people started to like contact me, can you help me by this, help me by this, but now it's in a more professional way. That's how it started.
So you get like credibility by taking
it's all about
helping by helping and then try to establish your resume.
Yes.
Yeah, and also like maybe you can share your like background story as to how you become an Indonesian-Korean translator.
I think it all started because of my language, fluent language in Bahasa as well, because there are not many Koreans that can speak fluent in Bahasa. I think I'm one of those who can, because I've been attending schools where it's not that international, so it's international standard school since primary school, so that I could have lots of Indonesian friends, and like my environment are full with my Indonesian friends as well. So that's how it all started. So I began to talk fluently and talk more with them. That's why my language skill improved.
Oh yeah, so are you more exposed to learning Indonesian or just by conversating with your friends?
Yeah, because it's about communication skills. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you I'm curious about how do you maintain your fluency in Korean and also in Indonesian? Like how you get the balance of it?
I think it's because I've been living here since I was a child. So like what people say, like when you adapt to this, when you're a child, when you're a kid, you're more easily adapting to like new knowledge and skills. That's one of the reason. And I guess because at home I speak Korean with my family.
All the time?
All the time. Like, because they're not that fluent in Bahasa. So like I talk in Korean with them. And outside my house, I speak in Indonesian, so it's like quite balanced.
Quite balanced. So that's how you get the balance and leads to working as a translator.
Yes.
and also besides working with events like Korean performers, or are there any more on the corporate event stuff,
I've once did like a business meeting.
Yeah,
I help business meetings as well, like presenting their presentations. I help them too, and sometimes like in summer every year there are some exhibitions.
Or like a Korean trade or
like any companies this big exhibition. I tend to help them too when they contact me.
Oh, is it any different than dealing with more on the entertainment industry rather than in corporate events?
Yeah, it's really different. Like in the entertainment industry, the pressure is real. Like the real pressure, because they're artists and they're really managed by their entertainment. So everything is quietly restricted, and you're not able to be free. You are one of their staffs.
Oh, they treat you as one of their staff.
So, whatever they do, I have to follow them, and I'm treated as their staffs. But then, if in the corporational side, I'm treated as their partners.
Oh, so that's the difference of it.
The difference, yes.
So I think maybe it's the other way around actually, but it's actually
Yeah, it's
more pressure on the
yeah.
entertainment industry,
Yeah.
because maybe like they're public figures and
Yes.
and
Like their image.
image
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. And how do you deal like like is there any memorable moments when you like translate and you're dealing with like their fans, like
Oh.
yeah, like that.
Yeah. So once once I participated in this event where, do you watch Korean
Like what you mentioned, like
variety shows? Like,
variety shows.
so
yeah.
there was this Korean entertainment like comedians groups where they held a futsal competition here
Oh yeah.
with
yeah.
the Indonesian All-Star group, and I was interpreting them, and I was in this car. I was
Running
going
away.
home, but then the fans thought like I was one of them, and they were like, ah! And when I was riding the car, they like chased me behind the car, like ah!
So you treat it as the one of the
Yeah,
public figures.
because I don't know whether they saw me or not, but they actually just like started chasing me and like ah! I was like, okay.
Getting the perks.
Yeah.
So it's one of those memorable moments.
Yeah, that's one of those
Getting
memorable
mistaken as one of the public figures like
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah. And is there any like difficulties of interpreting, like one to another, or is there like are you close to misinterpret stuffs like that?
There are like technical problems as well. Like if I'm told to interpret on stage, like in an entertainment side on stage, sometimes like I really cannot hear what the artist is talking because there are fans shouting. Yeah, because they really shout so loud.
So-
Like I have to listen to the artist so that I can interpret, right? But then I tend to like cannot hear what he's talking. So once I actually just made the statement that was not like related to him because I really couldn't hear anything. And once I didn't get the, what do you call this thing? The in-ear thing.
Oh, yeah. So the situation is quite complicated.
Yeah, it
like
was complicated.
no in-ears and
Yeah.
and that. Oh, yeah. So the conversation is getting more interesting, but we gonna have to take a little break. So be sure to stay tuned to Face to Face. Hello, smart viewers. Welcome back to Face to Face. Still with me, William, and my special guest for today's episode, Yuri.
Yeah.
And actually, we're gonna have to, like play a little game, a little bit to hit things up. A little bit. It's as a game of would you rather. So I'm gonna give out some questions, and you can choose one or another.
Okay.
It's just like like two choices. Like
Okay.
that. So let's start.
Let's-
So the first question is, would you rather speak Indonesian language for your entire life or Korean language?
Indonesian language.
Indonesian language. And the next one, would you rather listen to K-pop or Indonesian pop?
K-pop.
Would you rather live in a place where it's always hot or it's always cold?
Cold.
Cold. Would you rather can speak all languages or read people's minds?
Okay, that's a hard one. I'd rather speak all languages.
And the next one, would you rather eat asinan, Indonesian, for your entire life, or kimchi?
Okay, asinan.
Okay. Would you rather wear hanbok or batik?
Batik.
The next one, would you rather being a successful Korean translator or can understand all languages?
A successful Korean translator.
Would you rather being Indonesian translator in Korea or Korean translator in Indonesia?
Korean translator in Indonesia.
And the next one, would you rather watch Cinetron or
Okay.
K-drama?
K-dramas.
Yeah. The next one, would you rather live without TV or internet?
TV.
TV. Oh yeah. So maybe just discuss about the questions a little bit. You rather speak Indonesian language for your entire life. What's about that?
Because I feel like I'm going to live here forever. So I tend to I'll just use Indonesian language then.
And you tend to listen more to Indonesian pop than K-pop, like?
I tend to listen more in K-pop.
In K-pop,
yeah.
And what is about K-pop that you find interesting?
I don't know, because it's my language and my environment is everyone is actually listening to K-pop in my environment.
Now,
so yeah.
Even your family members are?
Yeah, because they're Korean, so they like choose to listen to Korean music.
Yeah. And you know, like rather eat asinan than kimchi.
Because I don't know, I feel like I don't really like kimchi that much.
Oh, okay.
It's surprising, but I don't think I like it.
Oh, you really like it? You prefer to eat asinan? And you like the batik more, you know?
Yeah, like in a sense on a daily basis, because hanbok is too big and really it's really thick, and it's really hot. Batik, you have the casual batiks, right? So I prefer that.
And you rather be a Korean translator in Indonesia?
Yes.
Because of the previous reasons that you mentioned before.
And I guess I'm treated better here than there. That's one of the reasons.
Oh, you actually have previous experiences on, you know, like going to South Korea.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh, okay. But you rather watch K-drama than Sinetron.
Yeah, that one is kind of obvious for me.
Because they have more intricate stories.
Yes, and it's interesting.
And you rather live without TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and internet.
Yeah.
Because you can watch TV on internet.
You can watch the TV on internet.
Yeah, okay.
Like, yeah, it doesn't matter. You have internet.
Yeah. Internet is the power.
Yeah, internet is everything. These days, you have to have that.
Okay, and let's continue our conversation about your, you know, like your work on translating, you know, and maybe in the future you could start, you know, like working, like establish an agency, or you rather be like a freelance translator?
I'd rather be a freelance translator, because a translator is not actually my my dream or my future career job that I want to achieve. So I'd rather be a freelance translator.
Oh, what are you more interested about? Yeah.
Currently, I'm taking law as a major.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, on those sides, the legal sides.
Oh, so you're actually interested in that?
Yeah.
Or maybe it could be handy in the future also.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what will happen. So yeah, let's just see.
And what do you think about, you know, like the important values of a translator that a translator should possess?
First of all, it's the communication skills. You have to listen well and speak well, and you have to grasp things really fast, because there are some translators that work behind the scenes, like on the backstage.
Yeah.
And really many things happen very fast. Like the staffs, they will be like, change on plans. So you really have to grasp things fast. So because if you don't grasp them really fast, the changes, then everything will go wrong.
Because
you're their link to the local production sites and the.
Oh, have you ever had experiences like that? You know, like being in the production.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe you could share some of that.
Like being on the production sites, it's really hard because they tend to work until like night, like 12, 11 p.m.
Morning to
From
night?
the morning, because they have to, for a concert, for example, they have to have those lightings and the sound check systems, and they really have their own terms, right? Like for the production sites, their terms that I don't know. So you have to learn that beforehand so that you can be able to translate them really well.
Oh, so based on your previous experience, are you mostly being briefed before you went in, and, you know, like went into the situations, or you're just there to adapt.
You're just there to adapt. So you really should have a good adaptation skills.
Oh yeah, so that's one of
Yeah,
skills. Yeah,
that's really important. Like you'll be like, wait, okay, so I'm here. What should I do? And then you just have to follow the flow. Like go with the flow.
Oh yeah. So and what's like based on your previous experiences, what do you find interesting about translating Korean to Indonesian and so on?
Okay, first of all, you tend to learn the language deeper, and you tend to know lots of environment like circles. Like you learn more, you gain more knowledge. You'll gain more knowledge on different sides, like environmental sides, and there are companies with like plastics. Then you tend to learn about plastics, so you gain lots of knowledge from it, and you tend to have more skills in meeting new people, and that would be really helpful for me in the future when I get a job. So that's what I think really valuable.
Oh yeah, so like you meet new people and also gain knowledge. Yeah, wow, what a rich kind of it's rich values. Yeah, and is there any tip for like for new translator like who want to maybe kind of like get into the job like that?
It's not that hard because you just have to be capable of those two languages, and you have to be really friendly and bright because you're going to meet new people. So you shouldn't be like, how do you say?
Like try to separate
yourself or distance yourself, but you still have to know your situation. Like when the situation is really intense, then you shouldn't go in like, hi people, like you shouldn't do that. So you have to be really professional at sites, and then you have to be more extrovert, even though you are an introvert, but in those places you have to be extrovert.
Yeah, you have to be more adaptive.
More adaptive.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Yuri, for joining the show. We hope that your experiences can help my viewers who maybe want to get into the job of translator, translator, or trying to, like more on the social skills like that. Yeah. So we've come to the end of the show. Be sure to check out another episode of Face to Face at the same day and time. Until then, I'm William signing off. Bye-bye.